So I've been quasi-quarantined for the next 36 hours and have decided to make a short film in that amount of time. What's quasi-quarantined? I won't get into all the details, but basically I went to California and I'm trying to avoid somebody for 36 hours until something important happens. And then after that, it's pretty much fine. So I'm self-quarantining for 36 hours. What's the deal with the short film? I teach broadcasting and film to high school students, and honestly, just thought this would be a really fun way to spend my time and would be something hopefully they'll think is kind of funny. Don't really care. Just tell us more about the film. Basically, the plan is I'm going to write, film, star in, and edit something in the next day and a half. I don't know what it's about yet, so if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments. Also, like for part 2, because I'm going to document every phase of this, of pre-production, production, and post-production. Wish me luck. Time to start writing. It's about a guy who gets quarantined. No, too obvious. Gets laid off. No, too sad. He's waiting for something special. Has potential. Maybe he's waiting for a letter. Who is it from? Girl, parents, friend, neighbor. I think it's letters from neighbors. It could be work. Could be a mystery. Let's go girl. Everybody loves love. Why does she have to write? Out of data. Not very efficient. She lives internationally. She's off to war. She's off the grid. I like that one. Now that I've got the premise, I'm going to use Dan Harmon's story circle to flesh out the rest of the idea. So like to see that next. Okay, that last one was kind of long, so I'm going to try and show you the rest of my pre-production process in the next 53 seconds. I absolutely love Dan Harmon's story circle. Here's how it works. You start out with a character in a zone of comfort, but they need or want something. So they go and enter into an unfamiliar situation. They search and they adapt to that situation. They find what it is that they wanted and they take it, but they have to pay a heavy price. Then they return and go back to where they started, having changed. Here are the first 4 parts of my story. Kevin is a guy that works from home and doesn't get out much. Like most, he just wants to be loved. He receives a letter with coordinates that are off the grid. He has a hard time finding the location. The next thing I've done is sketched out my storyboard. Really doesn't matter if these look pretty. Obviously my drawings are terrible, but they get the point across. Next up, I typed up my script using some free screenwriting software called Celtics. I've printed off my script and would normally mark this up with a bunch of shooting notes, but it's just me and I'm kind of in a rush, so I'm gonna go ahead and go. Also, I'm losing the light, so I really do need to rush through production, but like this video and wish me luck. Okay, so here's the setup for production. I've self-quarantined at my in-laws' house because they're out of town right now. While I went to California, I had a bunch of equipment with me, so I'm decently stocked, but not at all set up with the intention of making a short film. So let's see what's at my disposal. For cameras, I've got a Canon T3i with a Rode Video Mic Go, an Osmo Pocket camera, and a Mavic Mini. For lighting, I've got a LumaCube, some scrap pieces of gels, and a 5-in-1 reflector. For stabilization, I have a newer 16-inch slider, a Steadicam, and a GorillaPod. And then obviously I have my phone and the tripod that I just filmed that whole sequence with. Okay, so I did start production before filming all of that because I wanted to take advantage of some natural light. I also happened to find a second lens shortly after the time where I would need it most. But I do still have 2 scenes to go, so I'm gonna go jump into that. I am back, and as you see, we've got a change of venue. I'm back home now. My time in complete isolation has ended, thankfully. It ended a little sooner than I thought even, so got reunited with Kristen and Benson and had not yet finished the project and really just wanted to pour into them. Spent a lot of time doing family things and getting back into the new normal of what all this craziness is like, but wanted to show you wrapping up my post-production process. As you can see, the finished product is a pretty simple timeline. Most of what I did for this one was just cut it up and assemble it in the order of the script. There's a tiny bit of special effects towards the end. I kind of tried to color correct a couple cameras looking similar, but nothing too fancy on that end. So the final video is live now though, so find that link in my bio, and I hope that you'll check it out and enjoy it. Thanks for watching.